and a very warm welcome to Tree Talk in the Treehouse on Treehouse TV on this warm and sunny day in May. And a very warm welcome to Jacqui Anderson.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Treehouse, Jacqui.
Thank you, Sheena.
It's nice to have you.
It's nice
And
to be here.
Jacqui is a florist of how many years?
30 years.
30 years a florist.
Mm.
Wow. But now venturing into the world of colour, we won't say therapy, but introducing colour to people on a more holistic level.
Yes.
Would that be a good description?
Yes, that's absolutely right, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, Jacqui. So can we sort of rewind a little bit first and talk about your floristry sort of career? Because in terms of colour, you couldn't really have a more natural form than flowers.
Absolutely right.
In the world of colour, could you really?
Absolutely right.
So what drew you to that kind of work in the first place?
I'm not really sure. I just kind of ended up there. I just decided one day that I was going to be a florist, and that was it. Off we went. I'd done a few courses, then I'd done the city and guilds, and from then onwards I just launched out as a florist. Being a commercial florist and making it pay is actually quite a difficult job.
Yeah.
And but 30 years I've been down all the rabbit holes. I know exactly what pays and what doesn't pay now. And but you still come across some situations where you don't make the money you think you're going to. But I'm going to retire this year.
Right.
And I'm branching out into holistic therapies.
Okay.
I've organised a little course called The Magic of Colour.
Right.
Which is a fun way to introduce to people into seeing how colour impacts on their life. We just accept colour as part and parcel of everything around us, but it's so much more interesting once you start to dig into it. It's the way it's been used for thousands and thousands of years as a way of healing people and controlling things like blood pressure, calming people's emotions, stuff like that. They say it goes right back to Atlantis, but as you can't prove that because we don't know if Atlantis, it's never been found, has it?
No.
But the Egyptians definitely do it, and so do the Vedics in India. And in fact, the Egyptians are really quite interesting to follow. They used to have temples. It would be a large temple in the centre where everybody congregated, but around the outside there would be rooms all round the outside of the temple. Light would be diffused through crystals in the doorways of these rooms, and people would be treated for their ailments depending upon what colour they'd been diagnosed as deficient in or needing.
Oh.
And, so really quite interesting.
Yeah.
They still do that in India today, and they grind up crystals. They make crystal potions. But what I thought, we can do that today with normal crystals, with solarised water. So once you kind of realise that if you're in a red room and it makes you feel okay, then that's great. But you might go into a red room and start to feel really uncomfortable. It might cause your blood pressure to rise.
Okay.
And so then you need to find the contrasting colour to the red, which would be green. And you would make a gem essence with crystals to...
Yeah, I can see you bought your crystal
And so I did bring a green one
today.
And I do have a lot of other different green crystals, but I did bring the malachite just through because it can be toxic to people. Okay.
Can I just ask you a question about crystals? So where has your love of crystals come out of colour? Because everything seems to have come from colour.
Yeah, I'm really, really drawn to coloured stones wherever I go.
Okay.
Even on the beach, bits of coloured glass. I love it all. Absolutely love it all.
Yeah. You are the colour queen.
Yeah, I love it. And many years ago, my daughter said to me that, Mum, hold this crystal in your hand and you'll feel amazing. I carried this crystal around all day and I didn't feel a thing. Oh, it's a load of old rubbish. But anyway, eventually I tried a few different ones and I found a citrine, which is lovely yellow crystal, and it gave me a buzz. When I was carrying it, I could actually feel the fizz in my energy and it enlivened me. So after that, I started to really look into it a little bit more. And so the crystal essences, they can help people in lots of ways. You can douse yourself with them if you've got a skin complaint or something like that. You can spray the room with the colour, or you can drink it. But going back to the malachite is actually toxic to people. And so if you were going to make an essence with that, you would pop it into one glass, and you would have solarised this water by putting it out in the sunshine in the daytime.
Okay.
And allowing the sun's energy to do that. You would cover it, and it must be in glass, not plastic. Okay. And then because colour permeates through everything,
through all surfaces.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You would then put that in there and leave it to a couple of hours, 3-4 hours, something like that, and then take that back out, bottle that up. If you're going to make it last longer than a week, you would add a small shot of vodka or brandy to it. It just kind of
preserves
stabilises
it.
Yeah. And you can put it in a spray bottle and you can spray it around, or you can take the energy from 3 or 4 different crystals and put them all together in one spray.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you've got somebody around you that makes you uneasy, something like that, make a nice peaceful one with a rose quartz and some amethyst and anything that I'm just looking to see if there's anything there. But if I had people that made me feel uneasy, I would put those two together, maybe with the clear quartz to magnify the vibration of those crystals. And then put them all into one spray bottle and it'd be calm.
So I'm just trying to get an idea of really basically the umbrella of obviously of our conversation about stuff is colour. And it's the healing effects of colour, which we're talking about, no matter what form it takes, whether it takes the form of crystals, whether it takes the form of flowers.
That's right.
All right, but it's all colour has an energy.
Absolutely.
Vibration.
In the war, they had a war basket, you may recall, and
I don't
know.
recall. Not quite
historically.
Quite old enough for that.
Historically,
Jacqui.
they had a war basket.
I know I've got to touch up my grey hairs.
They had a war basket, and every week they would have the price of a loaf of bread, some butter, some cheese, essentials, but they always put flowers in for the feel-good factor.
Yeah.
So even when times are tight, we were encouraged to have the vibrant sea of flowers.
To feel the effects of colour.
Yeah.
To be open to the effects of colour, absolutely. And as I'm going to keep rewinding back to your floristry days, because I think that's kind of the foundation of where all this has started, isn't it? Because being a florist, I mean, you must, you're dealing with people, you're dealing with flowers and colour, but you're dealing with emotions as well.
Absolutely.
Because everybody that comes to buy flowers, there are so many different occasions. You've got weddings, you've got funerals, you've got both ends of the emotional spectrum, haven't you? So you've got grief, you've got celebration, you've got Valentine's Day. So it's all, so you must. I can imagine that you've kind of naturally over the years attuned yourself to the emotions and that vibration in people.
That's right, yeah. And you also kind of come to realise that certain colours pertain to certain occasions.
Yeah.
And So Valentine's Day, obviously, with the pinks and the reds and the sort of colours in that spectrum. Funerals, I like to see it as a celebration of someone's life.
Yeah.
So therefore, I think as vibrant and as lively as possible. I can't really see.
Do you?
Yeah, it's such a celebration of what.
That's good to hear, because I've got a funeral that I'm going to, a family funeral next week, and it's good to remember that. Because I'm feeling a little bit, apprehensive.
choose
Understandably
something
about
bright
it.
and lively, something that really sort of sums up the person. And I mean, we have the obvious connections. We have people say, oh, it's a man, it must be blue and white. Why must it be blue and white? He might have been a really passionate man, so like a bit red and sort of orange in there to sort of really sum up his personality.
We can be greatly influenced by convention, can't we?
Absolutely.
And conform to what we think we should be doing, because traditionally that's what, people always wear black for funerals, but they don't always.
No,
and
days.
Do you find that as a florist in the past and at the moment as well, because you're still doing it, people ask your advice?
Yes. Again, sometimes people don't always, they stick with the obvious, and when you try and show them something different, sometimes they'll sort of shy away and they go, oh, that's not really what I wanted. But then you sort of show them that certain colours come together in another way, and they're actually quite, wow, I really didn't know that would work, and so and the same with the brides. When the brides come in, shall we just have something tiny and sort of petite? Shall we have something big? Let's explore all the options and see what you really like. It's amazing. It's amazing what comes to light about a person once you actually start talking about their choices. And it's lovely. Absolutely lovely.
And okay, so going from the floristry business to the more holistic side of Jacqui.
Oh, right.
So because you do the tarot, you do you're a healer as well. You're a holistic therapist.
Yeah.
So tell us about your spiritual background and how you branched out.
Oh, okay. Well, I did learn.
From there.
I started to learn Reiki from another florist, actually.
Really?
And I thought, oh, what's all this about? I quite fancy this. It's a bit airy-fairy and not my normal everyday thing.
Yeah.
And become apparent quite quickly that I enjoyed healing. So I'd done the secondary Reiki, and for many years I didn't really use it except on myself, and but over the last few years now I'm sort of slowing down in my floristry career. I've sort of become more involved with the lovely Zoe and
Zoe Smith.
I go to the healing shares with her,
mutual friend,
and I'm also trained in Rahani, which is another healing modality, more fifth dimensional than Reiki, but horses for courses. I can do regressions, past life regressions, which is quite interesting, and that was really interesting, learning that and trying to find when the guy that was teaching us sort of told us our eyes were glued closed, the actual, I wanted to open my eye, and to kind of say to myself, no, go with this, just allow it and see what happens. And but as I was saying earlier, I haven't met any Cleopatras or Queen of Sheba's yet. Nobody interested.
Celebs.
Nobody interested.
Okay.
Everybody's just a normal person in their past lives, usually peasants. And so that's quite an interesting area that I'm going to go forward with.
What else?
And then I've got my little colour therapy course that is my passion at the moment, where it's an introduction to colour in people's lives, really, and just showing them it isn't just something that's going that's just happening around you. You can use it to actually impact on your life. And did
in
you
a conscious way.
That's right.
Consciously.
Did you choose those clothes specifically today? Did you choose your beautiful blue and red and
I
green dress?
did actually,
Yeah.
Jacqui, with you in mind,
There you
yes,
go.
because I do tend to. At the moment, I'm a little bit restricted because I'd like to be a little bit slimmer, and I'm tending to wear the one sort of thing all the time. So I thought, no, I can't wear green again. And it's such a lovely day, so I thought I'll put. Then this is one of my favourite dresses because it's got so many lovely colours, and I do love.
That's it.
I do love purples and violets and
so if I
blues.
look at that dress, I can see that you're a good communicator. You're spiritual, and your heart-centered energy is lovely, like with the green, and that's the person that I know. So I think
that's
that
very
dress
nice of
sums you up beautifully.
Yeah, thank you.
And but some people just sort of throw clothes on in the morning because they want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Some people lay them out the night before and go, oh, that goes with that.
I'd like to say I'm that sort of person,
Yeah.
but I'm afraid I'm not. I'm
But
afraid
there
when
are
I'm
people
at
like
home,
that.
it's the tracksuit bottoms go
Yeah.
on and the hoodie goes
That's
on,
it.
and but yeah, certainly for occasions like this,
No.
and
it could just be that they're the last thing that you've got clean to wear before you do the washing. You know,
yeah, of
there's
course.
plenty of them. You know,
Yeah.
there's lots of reasons. So it's quite interesting when you've got a group of people together,
Yeah.
and you actually start to talk about it. And you know, I'm sort of Mrs. Casual, so it's big effort for me to smarten up. And
Okay. You look lovely today.
no, but I like to be casual. I like to be able to sort of be loose. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to be sitting there in a jacket and
Yeah.
makes me feel constricted, you know. But somebody else might feel equally at home in that jacket, and that. So it's quite interesting to see those things. And from there, you can. We tend to do a meditation, like a rainbow meditation.
Right. Okay.
And then discuss why those people chose the colour from that rainbow. It could be that they liked it, or it could just be that they need that colour. So lots of colours, all the main colours have got meanings as such, that can be expanded and contracted depending on what kind of emotion they invoke in you.
Yeah.
So like red could just mean passionate and love, as in Valentine's Day, or it could mean anger
Yeah.
and sort of like stop, you know, don't go there.
And do you, in these workshops, are you going to be touching on the spiritual level, like the chakras, chakra colours as well?
And
You can
they're not
include all
quite
that.
the same as using them as a diagnostic
Right.
tool, but
Okay.
they're within the spectrum, if you sort of thing. I mean, light actually travels, I think, don't quote me on this, about 1,800 miles per hour. As it slows down, like colour is a vibration.
Yes.
And as it slows down, then we get to the vibrations of the 8 main colours that we see in our spectrum. But there's many, many more out there on a more etheric level that we can't tap into with our physical eyes and how we are. But that doesn't mean they're not there. Once you get below ultraviolet, then you can see our colours.
Can I ask you another question as well? More of a spiritual, colourful question. Auras.
I love auras.
Okay.
Right,
Can you see
okay.
auras?
Yes, I can.
Oh, wonderful. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it's really, really interesting. Many years ago, I was sitting in the audience at a demonstration somewhere, and there was a lady sitting in front of me. And you know when you're relaxed and you're just watching what's going on, and you're just sitting there and think, oh, this is really, really nice. And all of a sudden, it was like having a woman with big hair in front of me. And when I actually looked, she had like a gold aura all around her head. And that was the first time I saw it. And actually, I mean, I would imagine you've actually seen it all your life, but it was the first time it impacted on me.
Yeah.
And anyway, after that, I went to another demonstration, and there was a white wall behind the demonstrator. And relaxed again. So you need to be in a relaxed situation to see the aura.
Soft focus, isn't
that's
it? Sort
it,
of just
yeah.
softly.
And I could see this man's aura following him about on the stage. So as he was moving, he wasn't within the aura. It was kind of, I won't say next to him either, but he was only partly in the aura. So as he moved across the stage, the aura followed him.
Am I right in understanding that our aura is part of our etheric body?
Absolutely.
And there are
8
layers, really?
Yes, lots of them.
Okay, yes. Yeah. So it's quite, it's quite involved, isn't it? The whole
it is, but
sort
what's really, really interesting is you can train yourself to see that.
Yeah.
So first of all, you would just you need to be relaxed yourself. So if you were in the front room or somewhere like that, and your husband's laying on the sofa or something, but behind him it's kind of not a busy pattern on the wall. Do you know what I mean? And then you just sort of stare and let your focus soften. You will start to see the aura come out around him. With my husband, it's really, really interesting because he's had a number of heart attacks, and one when he was really ill, he was laying on the settee and I was just sort of scanning him, and his aura was about 1/2 inch, but it was navy blue. And I thought, oh my goodness, he's going to die or something. I was quite scared because it was white, but it's just that your energy levels are so low and everything is so contracted that comes in. But now when he's talking to me, and he's well now, and he gets quite passionate about something, he's quite a thoughtful person. I see green coming out of his head, and I quite often see sort of a pinky colour coming around him as well.
Wow.
So you can train yourself to see that. And one morning I was collecting flowers, and I saw one of the wholesaler guys, and again he was just doing something, and he had like electric cobalt blue all around him, and I had to tell him, and I thought he was going to think I'm nuts. And I'm just going to tell you this just because I can see it. And he said to me, "Well, how amazing!" He said, I trained with the Buddhist monks."
Really?
He said, "And I'm just trying to get myself ready to go back to be with them." And he was really pleased that kind of, to him, that gave him some kind of sense of.
So what do you? What's the what?
Well,
meaning as the cobalt.
I don't know
what the
cobalt is. I mean, I always...
It's turquoise, isn't it?
Yeah, I always...
Would that be communication?
I would say probably...
Throat chakra?
It's to do with communication, definitely. Yeah. But also it's a spiritual, because it's like indigo, isn't it? Blue.
Right.
So you've got the light blue for the throat and indigo for there.
So that's that darker.
So it's the spiritual
combination.
Yeah, combination really. And I couldn't believe it when he said he was sort of going to go back to be with these monks and take some time out. So
you are naturally attuning to people's energy
yes.
through colour.
Yes.
And that's come from your working with flowers.
I think so.
And now it's just sort of like, well, there's no end to it. It's just rippling out. It's filtering
right.
out,
comes
isn't
out
it?
Into everything.
Yeah.
And I was saying to you earlier, but I will say it again. Colour permeates. It's not just visual. It's vibrational. So anybody can be treated with colour.
A blind person?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, it
How does
comes
that
in
work?
through the cell structure.
Okay.
So, yeah, that it's as simple as that. It just, all your cells are receptive to colour. Just because you don't have the visual to be able to see it.
Because it's a vibration.
Yes.
It's a frequency of energy,
that's
isn't it?
right.
Yeah.
And
amazing.
So it's quite,
amazing.
it's quite clear that if somebody is blind, it doesn't make any difference. They can feel the colour.
Yeah,
So,
wonderful. So your floristry business, is that coming to an end then? You're
Yes,
planning to
yes,
retire?
I'm going to retire this
Are you?
year. Yes.
Okay.
By the end of the year, I hope to not be a florist anymore.
Oh.
And I've got a few jobs for next year that are still lined up, and I'll see them through. But basically the shop's going to go.
But you'll be able to put all your energy into your colour
holistic and
colour work
That's it.
and your holistic therapies.
Yeah, so
Wonderful.
I'm looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to your journey
Yeah.
ahead. Wonderful. And all the people that are going to be, that you're going to be bringing into that sort of...
Yeah, I'm hoping to educate a few people.
Yeah.
And, because we all
Sure
come
you
across
will,
people.
Jacqui.
We
Yeah.
all come across people in our day-to-day life that when you say something, even just yesterday, a young girl, and I started to tell her about colour, and she went, well, I didn't really actually ever think of it like that. So hopefully I've kind of turned her on to that.
Yeah.
And she'll
It's just
explore
helping
it a little
people
bit.
to be more aware
Yeah.
of the influence of
Yeah.
colour and how it can affect us
Yeah,
in so many different ways
it can.
and
I mean,
empower us.
Absolutely, and like the chakras, it's the same
Yeah.
thing. You've got all the chakras, and I mean, anybody that knows anything about them will know that sometimes they become deficient, they spin in the wrong way, because I think they spin like that. So one spins one way, one spins the other way. They can become out of sync, basically.
Out of balance.
Yeah, and so if, for argument's sake, if you're feeling a little bit low or something like that, it might be your base chakra that kind of needs energising, and you can do that with lots of different ways. You can introduce red into your life if you feel you need it. But if you can't bear to be in a red room or something like that, you could wear red clothes, or red underwear. Get really nice.
Why not?
Something really
Why
nice.
not?
A bit racy, make you feel good.
Absolutely, yeah. Nobody need to know
And,
about that.
No, that's right. Just you. It's
Yeah.
there, and you think, that's me.
So that's using colour sort of clothing physically. Can we use colour, I'm thinking physically as well, although obviously from a holistic point of view it all encompasses it nutritionally, so using food.
Yeah, absolutely. If you need red again and you can't
Red
bring
pepper.
yourself, that's it, red
Apple.
peppers,
Tomatoes.
all of those things.
Yeah.
And
I
I
love
don't know about you,
tomatoes.
but I mean, I love beetroot.
Yeah, I love beetroot.
And it's really good for your blood. It's really good for your whole.
Do you think we're naturally
digestive system.
Do you think we're naturally drawn to the colours that we can that will benefit us?
I think you are, and what I think is more important is you should pay attention to the colours that you think that you are not drawn to. Okay, because they're the ones that actually you probably need to work on.
Yeah.
And so, but even going back to crystals, if you're out, you're drawn to certain crystals, aren't you? You sort of, I really like. Oh, that one's really, really nice. And for some reason, you need that colour in your life.
Well, I must admit, because I love crystals as well, but the first thing that draws me to a crystal that I'm conscious of anyway is the colour.
Yes, absolutely.
Again, like as you were saying earlier, I'm not the sort of person who can sit there and think, oh yes, I can feel.
No, that's right.
Sometimes it happens, but invariably it's the colour that I'm drawn to first.
That's right, and that's because you need that in your life.
Because it's visual.
And also with crystals, they sometimes just disappear as well. And,
Yeah.
and it's almost like
Turns up again when you need it. Yeah. Okay.
So it's quite interesting. And children, more than anything, are absolutely drawn to crystals.
Yeah.
The colour, they feel the vibration.
Yeah.
They much more than we do.
Can I ask you before we finish?
Yes.
What is your favourite colour?
I don't actually have a favourite colour. It changes every single day.
I knew you were going to say that.
It changes with the seasons, actually.
Yeah.
When I'm at work.
Yeah, I'm a little bit like that.
When I'm at work, in the spring, the blue, the purple, the lemons and all that, and the daffodils and the muscari and the iris. And then in the summer, you've got the reds and the oranges and the golds.
Yeah.
Autumn, autumn's my
Love
favourite.
autumn, do
I
you?
love the oranges and the bronze.
Okay.
And those colours. Yeah. So if I'd choose, I would
Yeah.
say autumn.
Okay. Well, clearly you're very passionate about colour and how it can affect our lives, and I'm sure that you're going to help a lot of people in that department.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm sure you will, Jacqui. I'm sure you will.
Hope so.
Where can people find you online, because you've just
Okay.
created something.
Right, I've got a Facebook page, The Magic of Colour.
Okay. I'll put that in the show notes, the link.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's really, hopefully, what I'm trying to do with that is to bring some vibrancy into people's lives with beautiful coloured pictures and little quotes and stuff
Okay.
like that, and also about what I'm doing.
So that's where people can find you. That's where you're going to be advertising
That's where-
your workshops.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
So, and also, we have a Treehouse promotions group which you're a member of. So
Yeah.
if anybody wants to come on to the Facebook group, join us, interact with Jacqui, that's where you can
Yeah, fine.
find us.
Yeah, that's fine.
It is a good way to another good platform. Where else are you on? Twitter or Instagram
No,
or
I don't
anywhere
do,
like
I don't
that?
do those
No,
things
just
at the
Facebook,
moment.
really.
Facebook, really. Yeah.
Okay.
I just feel like one platform is probably as much as I can deal with
Yeah,
at the moment.
yeah, I know what you mean.
But
Yeah.
maybe later. You never
Okay,
know.
okay. Well, Jacqui, it's been lovely chatting to you. We could chat for hours. I mean, colour's such a big subject, isn't it? It's a big subject.
Yeah.
But it has been lovely sort of
Thank you.
finding out more about, there's so many different layers to it, isn't there?
Yeah, lots.
Physical,
I do
spiritual,
intend to expand
emotional,
Yeah.
mental.
Yeah.
It's like
Everything.
Yeah,
It's everything.
yeah, it is. And what a place to talk about it in the
lovely
treehouse.
treehouse.
I
love
know,
it.
I
I
know.
love it. I want one. I want one.
Well, when you've retired from your florist
Yeah.
business, you're going to have a little.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I'm going to have a girl cave where I'm going to be able to sort of administer my therapies and have group little
Right.
sessions.
Okay.
So I can't think of the word of being retired. You know, I'm going to do that because I won't be able to
Not
be
do
doing
it.
anything.
No. Well, you clearly not only love
Yeah.
working with colour, but you love
Yeah.
working with people. That
Yeah,
comes
I like
across
people
very
mostly.
strongly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what a great combination.
Yeah, I
What
hope
great
so.
colour and people, and the therapies. And well, I wish you all the luck with it.
Thank you.
And you must come back and tell us how you're getting.
How we get on.
Another year goes by. When are you hoping to retire?
Well, by the
You got
end
a
of this
deadline?
year, the end of this year is the deadline.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's I'm finding it difficult to let go, but I'm doing it. I'm doing
Okay.
it, forcing myself.
Yeah.
And,
Well, good luck with everything.
Thank you.
And come back in a year's time and let us know how it's all going.
Yes, I would love to.
Okay. So we bring our colourful interview to an end. And do check out Jacqui's page. And like I say, come into the Facebook group on Treehouse Promotions on the Treehouse TV page. All the links will be in the show notes. And thank you for watching, everybody. Ta-ta for now. Bye.